Hi guys, so let's make my famous Oogie Boogie tumbler. I have an amazing person who ordered off of my Etsy shop and she wanted a tutorial of how her tumbler was made. So here's the process, follow along. First thing first, you're gonna wanna get your clay and start molding the eyes. I always start with the eyes first because I tend to play with them a little bit to get them the shape I want. I normally use the oven baked clay, but in this case, I just use the air dry clay. There's nothing wrong with the air dry clay. The only difference is it does take about a day, 24 hours for it to fully dry and harden. And I'm impatient, so in the future, I will definitely use the oven baked clay. But here you can see I'm just rolling it out so I can go ahead and shape the mouth on here and get it all pressed. And what I did is I actually just let it sit on this cup and dry for the 24 hours, and then I just came back the next day and used the UV resin to seal it. So here you're gonna see pieces are dried, everything looks good. I'm gonna use my UV resin and just hit it in a few spots to make sure that it is sealed onto the tumbler, so when I go and apply the burlap, it's not gonna fall off. So once it's all cured, I go ahead and coat it with 2 coats of the brown paint. The paint doesn't have to be matching exactly. It's just so I get rid of that shininess behind when I cover it with the burlap. The burlap here you can get at any fabric store. I like the little bit darker burlap. This is a little bit lighter one, but that's okay. We're still working with it here. Now, I do use an adhesive spray to help get it down. So you want to make sure you're in a well-ventilated area, especially when you're using the spray, just because the fumes get a little bit overwhelming sometimes. So what I'm doing is I'm just spraying it and I'm pushing down the burlap and kind of molding it into my molded features with the eyes and the mouth and making sure I seal it down. So after I spray this, I will let this sit for 24 hours before I do anything else with it. It's really important that you let it gas off. Some people will just kind of go right ahead and just do it. For me, I'm all about safety, so I'll let this sit for at least 24 hours. So pretty much after I do the wrapping of it, I'll go ahead and cut my bottom piece. I'll spray it and push it down, and then I just go around it with my scissors and trim it off at the bottom, just kind of to fit it perfectly around the cup. So after that's all done, guys, here's the fun part. You are going to want to start molding your worms. So I purchased the bright yellow, the bright green, and the bright orange. And you can get this from Joann's, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Amazon, wherever you want to purchase it. But these ones you are able to bake. So as soon as I'm done molding them on, I'm going to go ahead and stick them in the oven, bake them, and then in 20 minutes I can start painting them. And there's really no rhyme or reason on how you want your snakes. I just kind of get an idea how I want them on the cup, and then I put them down. And I tend to make a lot of snakes just because I'm doing multiple tumblers. So I have them, especially as backup, and I could just grab it and go. I don't have to keep baking them. So once the snakes are all done, I go ahead and put them on a tray with aluminum foil and I stick them in my oven to bake. And I start the process of doing the black around the eyes and the mouth. This is where the tumbler really starts to come to life, and this is how you see just how the 3D effect really looks, and I love this process. Funny thing is, I find it so just relaxing to sit here and paint on the eyes and the mouth and the stitches. I'll just put on a show while I do this. And of course, this is sped up because Lord knows I do not work this fast. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so I kind of like to make sure that all my eyes match and the paints are really good on there. Now the stitching, I do just kind of go with the seam of it. I'll do really thin stitches all the way down. And I'll go over the stitches too, just to make sure that they really pop and stand out. You're gonna wanna use a really thin brush when you do this so they're not so thick, or if you do want them thick, use a thicker brush. So once the stitches are done and everything else is painted, I'll go ahead and paint the stitching on the mouth. And I have, again, no rhyme or reason. I just kind of go and try to match it up from top to bottom and go throughout the whole mouth area with that. And then I put little X's on the side of it for stitches as well. And after I do that, I'll just go back on the areas that I originally shaded in black just to make sure I didn't miss any spots. And then I start painting my little snakies, all the lines on my little snakies. And here it is. Here's a picture of all my tumblers I was working on. I have my Oogie Boogies, and I have my book tumblers that I have spinning right now. So that's it, guys. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. And again, don't forget to like and follow. Thanks for watching.